I love kids. And because I love kids, I also love teachers. If I can encourage and inspire teachers to see how awesome teaching can be, how much fun it can be, how much joy they can have when they truly connect with students, then I can not only impact my classroom, but then also impact classrooms around the world.
This week, we had the wonderful opportunity to connect with Vicki Davis, also known as the Cool Cat Teacher. Whether you read her blog, listened to her 10-minute teacher podcast, or heard her speak live, you always leave renewed, refreshed, and hopeful for the world of education. Let's listen in.
My name is Vicki Davis. I just finished up my 19th year of teaching. I did not plan to get into teaching. I was actually a business major from Georgia Tech. I got in because two of my three children learn differently and they needed technology supports for learning. And I was recruited by the curriculum director, and I told her I'd give her a year. And that was 19 years ago. I'm entering year 20 now. I have taught computer science courses, digital filmmaking, and then also been instructional technology director for both schools where I've worked for K through 12. So I support the teachers in learning and everything that goes on with learning. I do have a blog on the side that I started in 2005 in an effort to understand blogging so that I could teach my students how to blog. And lots of people started reading, and it kind of blew my mind.
We're so intrigued by the name Cool Cat Teacher. Where did you come up with the idea of that name?
Names are very important. So I was brainstorming names, and an awesome student named Casey, who she and I kind of have a long history. Casey is, I think she's 26 now, and she was a ninth grader maybe. And I was sitting there saying, I've got to create this blog. I can't have you guys blog until I know what I'm doing. Everything is in a name. And I had written 50 or 100 names. And she just kind of says, so we were the Wildcats was our nickname. Well, we're the Wildcats and you're cool. So why don't you be the Cool Cat Teacher? I was a little kid. I used to do this thing called Recording Vicki. I had a tape recorder. And so I would go around and interview my family. And I started that when I was really like 4 or 5. So I always loved audio and loved interviewing people. So podcasting was kind of a natural for me too. You iterate and you change with technology. What I talk about today is somewhat different than what I used to talk about, although it's all underpinned with the same thing: respect for students, love for students. Let's find their strengths. Let's help them know that each of them are a masterpiece, and that they can do great works in this world. We each have a purpose, and teachers can also have a whole lot of fulfillment and joy if they relate before they educate. And you can innovate like a turtle, because that's been my philosophy of innovation. So those are some of the things that I'm often speaking about to teachers.
Helping students connect with the world is a passion of yours. For teachers who are looking to create these connections for their students, where should they start?
I do believe in helping students connect with the world, and it starts with connecting yourself. That's the first step of flattening your classroom or connecting yourself to the world. Select the social media that works for you. It might be a Facebook group. It might be a Twitter hashtag. It might be a mastermind group that you make with people. But I do believe that an effective educator will have both a PLC and a PLN. Here's what's so important. Students need to hear us saying, I learned this today, or I learned that today. And if you're not learning anything, you have nothing to share. We're truly hypocrites as teachers if we're not willing to be learners also. Now, sometimes my students will teach me something and I'll say, I don't know anything about that. You'll have to teach me about that, whether it's TikTok or whatever. And I'll learn about it, and they'll teach me, and I'll come to understand. And I'll sometimes in other classes, I'll say, hey, so-and-so today taught me this, and this is what I learned, and I'm so excited. And then they'll see me applying it, because I'm trying to live this lifestyle of learning and acknowledging, it's important for them to hear me say, I don't know. I had some teachers tell me this past year that they were closer to their kids. They had better relationships with their students than they have ever had. And part of it is because we stripped away things that didn't matter, and we got to be the whole piece of being human and what matters in life. And this is your time as a teacher to truly build a legacy, not from a selfish perspective, but you can truly impact the future generation because more is caught than taught. How are you living your life? Now, I'm not going to tell you it's easy. And sadly, there are many school systems that have the wrong priority. The priority is not, let's get them back to school so we can get our math scores up. It's let's get them back to school. Let's see where they are. Let's connect with them as human beings. So this is your legacy. Last year was probably the most important year that you've ever taught. And I would say this upcoming year is also, because the kids are coming back and they have scars, and some of them have wounds. Some of them have struggles. So this is a very important time that you will never forget. And when I say never forget, I mean never forget. So use it well.
As you enter this new school year, may you take the words, "relate before you educate," as an inspiring reminder of what an incredible impact you can have on the future generation. Be sure to check out Vicki's Cool Cat Teacher blog, podcast, and more at coolcatteacher.com. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the LearnOn channel to receive the latest interviews and stories.